and I still don't have a residual check on that. All right, quickly, and I'm going to end here. Just when you do get that entry-level job at an entertainment company or one of the ancillary companies that supply services, it can be accounting, video, you know, there are a lot of ways because they outsource a lot. But when you get into one of these companies, you're going to start at the bottom. So, and great leaders can rise up from anywhere. There's secretaries, by the way. A very famous one, Dawn Steele, ran Paramount terrifically. She was the secretary before she worked her way up, before she ended up running a studio. Ron Meyer was a Marine, I believe. I'm an MBA. Stacy's a lawyer. So there's all kinds of ways, and Mary Parent's a film person. So there are all kinds of ways to get into the entertainment industry. One, I would say, study and learn here. What you learn here will be applicable out there. There was no meeting I was ever in where I was intimidated, whether it's marketing, business, whatever. And I'm assuming it'll be the same for you. I didn't go this track, but I'm sure what you learn here will make you, it's very important to ace things here so you hit the ground running when you get into the when you start out. You got to be willing to start at the bottom. You're not going to be riding shotgun with Steven Spielberg anytime soon. So put that out of your mind for a moment. Observe. You can learn something from everybody. Everybody has something to contribute. I like to think of myself as a creative person now, but you know, I'm the business. I watch the creative process. I was so fortunate to be in the room with people like Steven, by the way, like Russell, Ron Howard. I just watched how they behaved and performed and learned from it. Same thing with marketing. We're with great marketing people. And so observe. You're an observer. And you know, this is going to sound funny, but sort of speak when spoken to, because you don't know people are weird, and I may be one of the weirdest, but you don't know where I'm going in a meeting. I may be saying something now to set up down the road that the dots no sane person could connect but me. But if I ask you a question, you know, give me an answer. Because you may have more facts than I do, honestly. Always continue to enhance your skills. When it stops here, when you go to work, continue to get better. Take creative writing courses if that's a weakness for you. Take acting classes if that's a weakness. Continue to get better, because technology in the entertainment industry is changing very rapidly, and you want to be as current as possible. People skills, continue to develop people skills. This is really an important thing, is how, you know, I was a very social high school person. I was, if I do say so myself, I was quarterback of the high school team, and then I got to college, and I realized, God, I'm gonna have to work. I better start focusing here. And you know, I now personally have a tendency to get lost in data, to get lost in research, but the truth is, what matters is your relationship with people. So now I force myself. I belong to a lot of high-end groups like the Mises organization or ACA or certain entertainment group. I force myself to go out and meet people, because people are going to know things before you read about it. Plus, it makes life a lot easier. Plus, you're able to see talent early. And so get out there, and you know, some of these mixers you should go to, things at UCLA. I'll tell you, I come back to UCLA every year that I can. They have an alumni weekend for the MBA program, and I come back. It's like coming back to the fountain of youth. I learned so much that I then apply to my business world. So continue to learn and continue to take courses, but get out there and meet people and develop relationships. Friendly, not familiar. This is really important. In a work environment, you want to be friendly, but not familiar. You don't want to be the guy or girl asking all the personal questions, the weird person. Like, what'd you do this weekend? You know, it's really not your business. But, you know, so, you know, it's such a high pressure world, and especially with these big films where now it's $200 million on the line. you don't want to be worrying about some guy like pimping you about what you've done, so there's a way to be social without being overly familiar. And people like that are overly familiar. There's always feels like there's some weird angle they're pursuing. There's no future living in the past. You got to be like a quarterback. You throw an interception, you can't think about it anymore. You hit a bad golf. Sorry for the sports analogies, but you hit a bad golf shot. You got to put it behind you. You're gonna make mistakes. I hope that one of the great things that happens in the next 5 to 10 years is people who have made mistakes, who are competent, rise again, because people who make mistakes learn from mistakes. People who never make mistakes never learn. It's like a great quarterback in college who's never had any setbacks and then gets to the NFL. First time he has a setback, he collapses. The guy who gets bounced around a lot in college, he's building up that tough skin. Right now there's a feeling that, you can't make any mistakes. You don't want to make purposeful mistakes. You don't want to make unforced errors. But everybody comes back from an error. I can tell you, I know the top 3 people at every entertainment company. I know major career-ending mistakes they've made that they've come back from. So don't put too much pressure on yourself if you do make a mistake. And you can make silly mistakes that sometimes these people overreact about. You just got to shine them on. Like I know, like in the record business, for example, if you call a royalty a participation, which is a film term, you'll be laughed out of the room. It's like, who gives a crap? It's the same thing. You're participating in the profits. One's called a participation if you're in film. One's called a royalty if you're in music. You have to shine those things on and move behind it. But no future, living in the past. Seize opportunities. There's so much movement in the entertainment industry. It's so transactional. There will be your moment to seize opportunities. So, luck is when preparation, stealing from Tom Landry, luck is when preparation meets opportunity. So be ready, because your opportunity will come, and work hard. Don't get into the entertainment industry if you don't want to work hard, because everybody works hard. It's almost a 7-day-a-week job. I hate to say it, because even when you're not there, you're thinking about it. And be inclusive as you move up, and as you move up, you want to include other people. I am notorious for bringing the lightest people from my team into meetings, because if they don't see me and how I perform, how are they going to learn how to behave in meetings, what to say, when to say it? And they've done the work. They deserve to be, in my view, they deserve to be in the meetings. It's sort of there's sort of an insecurity in the 2 industries I'm in, is investment banking and entertainment, where there's a little bit of an insecurity about bringing along really talented people. My view is that the most talented people, the most talented thing is being able to get talented people to work for you, more than being the talented person yourself. Focus on your strengths at first. If you're a business person, focus on business. Creative, focus on creative, and then start migrating over. Don't walk in as a business person and start barking out creative orders, or creative people barking out, FASB standards. Honesty is the best policy. You make a mistake, own it, move on. But don't be the cop of the world. Being the cop of the world is exhausting. Pointing out other people's mistakes. Worry about you. Make other people be grown-ups. Don't go down to their level. There's a lot of pettiness sometimes with certain types of people, creatives, and they can get into some pretty petty arguments. You don't want to be the office lawyer. Let them work it out themselves. Don't jump in. You got plenty to do. And continue to learn, as I mentioned, but also embrace the chaos, because it is a chaotic environment. And the more chaotic things are, I find, the calmer I get. Because 1, it's more entertaining watching chaos, and 2, you see in the chaos, it almost highlights what the issues are. So if you're cool and calm and observant, you're going to be able to add value by spotting, and you may spot things that a 30-year more senior executive may not spot, and sort of go You don't want to do this in front of a group, but go to the side and say, listen, XYZ, Snapchat is this, whatever it is that you would know that I wouldn't know. I personally like feedback. I don't need it in front of a group, but if I'm making a mistake, I want to know about it. Okay, so that's my trip around the film.